What is up, guys? Today we are joined with Craig on the AR podcast. Craig, how's it going today, man?
Austin, I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing well. I know we were wrapping right before we got on here, just talking about setting up the morning, getting the lift in, getting it going. So it's hard to beat a morning when you get to go train.
Exactly. No, working out is one of my favorite ways to start the day.
It's almost like you're a coach or something,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta practice what you preach, right? You can't push these things off, and then luckily it's something I enjoy. So people see me doing that, and they kind of get inspired along the way.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Digging through, running through. I feel like I know you just running through your IG, but I know it only gives me so much information.
That's
So,
fair.
Craig, whenever it comes to coaching, like what actually got you into this?
Yeah, man. So I was actually in finance before I switched over to coaching. Kind of been around the gym and sports my whole life, so it's definitely something I've been passionate about. But took me a while until I realized how much potential there was for, starting and growing a business in the space and just getting connected with the right kind of people to kind of give me that roadmap to improve and evolve in this space.
With that said, who've been some of your biggest inspirations, whether this be, mentors, different people you were just watching as a kid? Like what
Mhm.
really sparked the love for the gym and just, fitness as a whole?
Yeah, I would say something that sparked it was just trying to improve my confidence and athleticism as a younger kid. So getting into the weight room and learning actually so much from people online. So just trying to learn how to lift weights and what to eat, how to recover, all that good stuff. And then there's a few people that I can kind of shout out. One is Brandon Spalding. He's a guy that formed this group of men online, and we had a common interest when it comes to like natural ways of improving your health, kind of that naturalistic lifestyle, and discovering as a group what it means to become a man. So I think he was somebody that showed me how things can be done online when it comes to like leading a group of men, and I gained a lot of inspiration and insight from him. And then a good friend of mine, Jack Moran, he runs a podcast and runs a company as well, and he's all about just entrepreneurship and kind of hearing his story of how he made his transition into business was something that inspired me and made me I guess pursue a more purposeful life in a sense. When it comes to me, this is something I'm passionate about, and he helped to inspire that.
Absolutely, man. That's sick. I gotta ask, whenever it came to like learning about stuff on your own, I'm going back into high school in my head here.
Oh yeah.
Stack.com was the thing for us. Like we were stack.com, bodybuilding.com. Like where
Really?
were you going
Yeah.
to learn?
My guy Elliot Holst with Strength Camp was pretty high
Let's
up on the
go.
list, but I learned from a lot of bodybuilders, and took it with a grain of salt, of course, but just different bodybuilders and other influencers, if you will, online. But a lot of it was like YouTube. Like I'd be searching how to dot 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 when it came to fitness, and just kind of seeing what came up. I think Athlete X was another guy that was really big, especially around that time. So learning from some of the YouTube OGs for sure.
And I was gonna say you stay shredded, so I was wondering there. I was waiting for the Athlete X name to pop up there.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. I'm actually amazed how much he is still putting out content that is extremely helpful to the people after, 10 plus years of doing it. So shout out to him.
Sports background. What were you playing? Like what?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Run me
mean,
through.
the stuff that made me want to lift or started like lifting was definitely wrestling early on. Like we started using just dumbbells to do some like one workout per week when I was in like youth sports, and then that evolved to using sandbags and just whatever we can get our hands on with middle school wrestling. And then by the time we were in high school, like some pretty intense workouts when it comes to that. And then I did football and lacrosse too. So I had a lot of different coaches, a lot of different styles, and kind of training specific to sports, but keeping those same core principles intact.
So you're playing all three throughout all of high school.
Yeah,
Never an
basically.
off season. It was next one, next one, next one.
No, and even this summer was like there's practice for everything, so that's not much of an off season either.
I love
But
that,
yeah,
man.
man.
That's very similar background. But not the
Oh yeah,
lacrosse. I'm guessing you're East Coast. You got to be East
right.
Coast whenever I hear lacrosse.
Yeah, spot on. I was up in Pennsylvania for high school at least, so that was a big
What
football
area?
area, big wrestling area. Easton was the high school, so in the Lehigh
Okay.
Valley, Bethlehem, Allentown are big cities around there.
I'm trying to think. It's like Scranton. I'd be in
It's kind of
Scranton all the
like
time this summer as a kid.
right. So I would say it's in between like Philadelphia and where like New York City is. Like we're right up against New Jersey.
Now
So
I'm
kind of all
following you on the
connected in
map.
there. Yep.
Sweet.
But I've passed through Scranton a bunch of times. What were you there for? Or you live there?
Dad would always go up there in the summer and work, and so I'd
Right
go
on.
up and
Yep.
Go spend the time up there. I loved it. It's a beautiful
Really?
place to be in the summer, man.
Yeah, it's a neat area for sure. I think I'd pass through there on the
Absolutely.
train on my way to New York or something like that, Scranton.
I love it. I love it. Other than, shout out to The Office being the
That's all I can
yes,
think
that's where
of,
it's
yeah.
going. Craig, you said natural ways of doing things, like applying
Mhm.
that when it comes to your ideal client. I mean, obviously, like specialty
Yeah.
is being able to create phenomenal results naturally. I mean, like, who would you say is your ideal client?
Yeah. So working with my finance background, I had this issue of really working really hard, long, long hours and just working on numbers and on the phone all day. So just a busy work life, which is common for a lot of businessmen. So that's kind of my target. But it's really businessmen that are looking to, build fat or build muscle, burn fat, and boost their testosterone. Because to me, testosterone as a man is going to be your key metric in terms of like what your level of health and well-being is, not only just for your health but also for other areas of your life, because of how much to me it impacts everything.
You got to dive me in. I got to get the secrets now, Craig. Like, what are you doing? If when it comes to your base of like, okay, I need client
Yeah.
to X, Y, Z. Like, what's your base
Yeah.
structure to actually make that happen?
Yeah, man. So it's going to start with your strength training. That's going to be key. Training is going to be strength training. And then I would say getting in some form of, so for testosterone, it's all about intensity. You're not going to want to go out and run 10 miles because that's just ruining things at the end of the day. It may be healthy for other aspects, good for mindset, sure, but if you're out there doing some sprints, you're doing, some weighted carries like rucking or farmers carries or jumping, like these explosive movements, that high intensity, that's what's going to help you. But to me, most of it, or the primary focus, is lifting heavier weights. So something that's manageable, using good form, but your core lifts, your squat, your deadlift, your bench press, overhead press, get some pull-ups and dips in there, and you're good to go.
I love it. From the dietary standpoint, what are you looking at trying to really maximize there to help with that?
For sure. So it's going to be high protein and higher fat. So the fats are going to help with your actual hormones themselves. And then that protein is going to build that muscle. So ideally for testosterone, you want to be between 10 and 15% body fat. If you're below that, you're not going to be producing your optimal amount of testosterone. And if you're above that, you're actually going to be turning the testosterone that you are producing into estrogen, which is going to give you kind of that more, that sluggish energy, and even like the man boobs or the estrogenic kind of traits that you get from that.
So you're telling me being an explosive athlete who prioritizes eating real food
Right. Yeah,
actually
animal-based
works.
protein. Yeah, yeah, it's back to that primal stuff that, these people back in the day just looking ripped, living their lives as they would, but nowadays it's too easy to just eat, Oreos and processed food and all that stuff. So just getting back to, what's healthy, what makes you feel good, to me, not just for a day or for a moment, but, long term over 30 years, not like a 30-day kind of thing.
I love that, man. Your finance background. So I mean,
Yep.
you're going through really grinding every day in that world. What sparked the interest of like, okay, what if I go do this? And you come in full-time coaching.
Yeah, I think I've had the idea, but I didn't know how I was going to go about it. And obviously, you learn more, and I'm still evolving every single day of like the exact direction that I want to go in. But I think there just came a point where my growth and development, like I feel like I worked really hard and developed quickly, but there was kind of a cap on what the next 5+ years looked like for me. And I wasn't prioritizing my health as much as I should. And once I started to do that, I realized how much it impacted and benefited my life. Was like, wow, if I can do that for myself, there's so many people that don't understand these things or don't care enough to, research it. Whereas I am like interested in that. I read books on health and fitness and, still watch YouTube videos on it and all that. It's really inspiring and exciting to me. So if I can do all the kind of the legwork and just give people a blueprint, and they can have faith in me because I've shown it with myself, with, with my weight loss, with my strength gain, with my testosterone more than doubling, those are the things that people are going to kind of key in on and say, hey, if he can do this, he knows what he's doing, and he can help me with that too.
Man, Craig, I didn't even ask about this. I left the trifecta out. I left it out.
Go ahead.
Sleep. So you go
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
push world of, okay, business, we got to do this, we got to do this. Like, I'm imagining your sleep is probably wrecked. Probably maybe 7 hours on a good night. I'm imagining probably more of that 5, 6 spot. And then I'm
Yeah,
assuming over time that probably shifted dramatically.
yeah, it's something that I think I'm still working on because
Hey,
it's
same.
almost like I feel as though I'm recovering better. Like if you have higher testosterone, you're naturally going to recover better. But sleep helps that as well. So that continues the cycle. Would I like to get 8, 9 hours of sleep? Sure. Do I normally get that? Definitely not. I think I do get higher quality sleep though. I'm not eating junk food before I go to bed. I'm not watching much TV. I'm like journaling, reading, meditating, these things that actually calm
Mhm.
the mind down and get you ready for a higher quality of sleep. So to me, the quality of sleep has definitely gone up. As far as the number, I mean, I almost feel like I just have so much energy nowadays that I'm like, man, I don't want to go to sleep. And I wake up like pretty energized. Like last night, I got 4 or 5 hours of sleep and I'm not even batting an eyes.
Craig, how? How? And you're not the first person I heard that. Like a lot of my really
Yeah.
good friends like lived years that way. They're like, what do you mean? I feel fine.
Oh no. Yeah, I truly feel really good. I think it's just comes down to the quality of the sleep and what I'm doing in terms of like, I'm working on something that I care about. I'm not like
Love it.
dragging my feet showing up to do this. I'm like excited. Like I get on to do some work early most days. So it's just something I care about. And I think that drive and that passion is what fuels my energy more than, another hour of sleep would do.
No, I
Um, but
100% agree.
when you talk about the trifecta, to me, that aspect, that third aspect is recovery overall, which to me expands into your lifestyle. So it's going to be for me, what I do for recovery is like going on a walk for like a half hour a day, meditating for 15 to 30 minutes, really lowering that stress. Because another thing for testosterone and for, the benefits that come along with it is if you have too high of cortisol, so that's your stress response or your stress hormone. So if you're stressed out or very stressed out for a little bit of time or over an extended period of time, you're going to have high cortisol and your energy is going to go into producing that cortisol before it makes more testosterone, right? So if you're stressed, you're not producing enough testosterone. So what I do is I try to go out for a walk, I try to meditate and just do these things to calm myself down. Along with that, I like the active recovery. So you're foam rolling, getting a massage if you can, stuff like using a sauna, cold therapy, cold showers. Those actually just give you a rush of energy typically. The cold side will give you some more dopamine and you're just feeling good. You're feeling energized, right? So those are just some things in terms of recovery along with the sleep, which I do think is important, but I don't yeah, I feel like I have enough energy as is. I'm not trying to say that I get 8 hours of sleep a night. That to me is just not truthful. So I wouldn't want to mention that.
It's cool though you mentioned it's like recovery. It's not just sleep. It's lifestyle as a whole. And
Hmm.
I've seen
Hmm.
one of my best friends same way would roll on 5 6 hours and train,
Amen.
go crazy, get leaner still, get stronger still. I'm like, what is this? He's truly in
Yeah.
love with his life. He loves
Right.
what he's doing on a daily, consistent basis.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that saves so much energy that you don't need as
Hmm.
much. But I was
Yeah.
curious, are
Yeah.
you what's on your watch? Is
I
that
got
Whoop
a I
Band?
got a Whoop band. Yeah. Yeah. I
What's your
was
REM? What's your REM sleep? You got to be having some REM sleep. That's what the only thing I can
Yeah.
think is you having
Yeah.
deep REM.
I don't know the number offhand, but I can feel the difference. I know I'm getting better quality of sleep. But are you is that something you like tracking kind of I've just been tracking the hours and then like my recovery score and kind of going from there, but
Man, I'm a coach at heart, Craig. I guess quick little background. I owned a gym for a long time. I actually lived in
mhm,
it for 3 years.
right on.
um,
Yeah,
and during that time, I would travel and go meet with coaches. Uh,
nice.
so instead of paying for mortgage on a house, I had a
Yeah,
mortgage on a business and would
right. I hear you.
travel and be able to use that time. And so yeah, taking the Whoop and just anything and everything I can to try to
Mhm.
figure out how to maximize anything,
Yeah,
more than happy. If somebody's
amen.
getting an hour of REM sleep, it's like, okay, can I get this to 2 hours?
For sure. For
If
sure.
if
Yeah,
if
it's
they're not feeling great, like if they're like, okay, and then you can use different things like apigenin to help with that. Is there a
mhm,
glycine protocol? Like, I'm not a huge supplement guy, but I do think there's times for them. You can
mhm.
still apply it from the other end of it with like the food, whether you're using like combinations of like kefir and cherries to get like
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say
not the
cherries gave you that
person.
melatonin.
Yeah. So
Right
I
on.
think there's a lot of ways to go about it. I just like numbers. I like data. I'm a geek with having that. So like even check-ins, like
Yeah.
I like using
Yeah.
the Whoop with clients as well to Try to
Nice.
check HRV trends, especially if I've got to work with CrossFit Games athletes, Major League Baseball. Just you
Mm.
get such a wide range that I like to be able to see the trends so I can
Yeah,
tell what's going on, and then be able to better calculate from there. So
for
I,
sure.
I was
No, I'm
just
a
I was happy seeing you have. I was like, man, I think that's a woo. Craig's on the
Yes,
team.
sir.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I love using it. For a while I was like fighting, so I would have to like wrap my wrists and I would just always take it off. I was like, "Oh man, maybe I'm not going to use it as much as I thought." Taking a break from fighting, just focusing on the business and kind of practicing what I preach, because I know not everyone, or not everyone that I talk to is going to be a fighter. Just kind of focusing on the core lifts, doing those, some cardio days and this and that, and then having like one or two recovery days or recovery spread out throughout the week is kind of my focus right now with growing the business.
But what is your business right now is like that's the primary lever, like boom, pulling this down on. What's your training look like on the back end of that? Because obviously it has to change. Like it can't just be like, okay, if we're focused as an athlete, like training volume is probably
Yeah.
going to be higher and we're going to put more towards that. If we're focused on business,
Yeah.
like there's a shift that happens, So how does that look like for you?
Yeah, you're saying personally or for what I
For
do with
you
okay.
personally. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of guy that goes all in. Like when I was training for fights, it would be like twice a day, at least 6 days a week, and I kind of went all in on that. Wake up early, work most of the day, work out in the evening, and then socialize or whatever after that. But yeah, I mean, most of my energy is focused on work right now. So and I really enjoy it because what I can tell people is, get a few hours in the gym a week. You don't need to be there 10, 12 hours to look and feel like you're in great shape. You can do some high intensity stuff. It takes a half hour to an hour at most. And then, you're good to go. And you just manage your diet and stay in a good environment, I think is another key point. Have some good supporting people around you and you're good to go, man.
That's I'm in the process of trying to switch that with my own mindset right now, just because coming from
Okay.
the athlete background, especially with the CrossFit side, you put in
Yeah.
12 to 15-hour training weeks are normal. That's just
Yeah.
what you do. And so like
Yeah.
that fear, how did you overcome that fear of like, okay, well, if I pull back, I'm still going to be okay? Because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've done so many different styles of training. Like I've tried like Kino Body from Grego Gallagher, his like, intermittent fasting and lift a couple days a week. And I've tried another guy, what's his name? Dorian Yates, his bodybuilding style. So
Yep.
he's, one crazy intense top set to failure, maybe a drop set, and then you kind of move on to the next thing. But he works out 4 days a week and goes for a walk outside of that. So I've played around with the lesser workouts before, so I know that they work. And at the end of the day, like a lot of these things work, but it's finding what works best for you. And right now, with business as my primary focus, putting a lot of time and energy into that, I knew that as much as I love fighting or I love or enjoy a good runner's high from long runs, those aren't the things that are going to give me the maximum output when it comes to my testosterone, when it comes to working on my business, when it comes to creating results for my clients. So those are the things that kind of went into this current structure that I have.
I love it. It just you focus on others. It's true.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
whole mindset was like, okay, how can I help this person better? Well, as a
Mm.
coach, I kind of see you as one that experiments with it yourself as well. And so
Oh yeah.
putting yourself in their shoes constantly. I love that, man. It's a true coach. Like
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
how are you gonna recommend something if you're not doing it yourself or haven't done it, in my opinion? Um,
Absolutely.
because yeah, I mean, I could read all the books that I want on something, but if I haven't gone through the experience, I don't have the understanding that I would try to recommend of somebody that's going through it,
I love that. Craig, big question for you. Before coming into AR, I mean, what
Mhm.
was your biggest hesitation? Like what was holding you back?
Well, hesitation in terms of like growing the business or
Joining AR.
man, I didn't have much. I got recommended through Ruben Brooks, and he hasn't steered me wrong yet. So I'm gonna keep on listening to him because he's in a position that I aspire to be in. So if he's he's had the experience, he recommended you guys. I think maybe it was Mike that hopped on a call initially and kind of mentioned it to the Fit Boss group, and we've kind of gone from there. I was all in from the start.
Man, Ruben's a good dude. Mike, I'd kind of get into AR for me. I can remember sitting in a coffee shop about a year and a half ago, just sending Mike some different questions, just know mutual people and so forth. And I was just asking him, hey, can I just come watch you for a day? Like, I just need to see what you
Yeah.
do. He's like, man, I don't really do anything special. I'm like, I know that's the
Huh.
point. I need to see the little things. What are you doing different?
Right.
And
Right.
I will tell you 100%. I think I've maybe beat Mike at the office one time, like,
Really?
getting there and leaving before, and, like,
Hmm.
the dude is on it. Like, I don't know if there's ever an
Yeah.
off switch. It's
Yeah.
awesome to see and just be part of.
Absolutely, and I can tell that even, from not having met most of the AR team in person or anyone in person, but I can tell there's just an incredible culture there, and you guys are so helpful and so responsive to me that I really am blown away, and I'm amazed how much you guys keep adding to benefit the people that you're serving. So it's really cool to see for me.
Appreciate that, Craig. It's a lot of
Mhm.
work. We
Yeah, no,
appreciate that a
it
ton,
doesn't go
man.
unnoticed. Yeah, it's good to see.
What's been your biggest win since becoming part of AR?
Ooh, biggest win. I think it's just the systems, man. Having that structure, going through you guys, I think Baker and Felicity had a lot of videos that really set up the structure for my business. So a lot of things on the back end that I wouldn't even think of, or like things that would just come up and to me would be like a hurdle or a sticking point. I'm like, wow, I've already thought, or they've already had others go through this and they've thought ahead. So it really just removed a lot of the friction for creating more success in my business. So shout out to them or the whole team for setting that up.
Man, appreciate you a ton. So what's on the
Absolutely.
menu the rest of the day?
Yeah, man. Getting back to some messages, hopefully set up some more calls, shoot some more content, get that out there. But just keep on growing the business. Hopefully get some time to, or make some time to relax, chill out, get a good walk and meditation in, and got some good food coming later today. So I'm excited about that. But man, can't really ask for much more. I'm pretty blessed, I have to say.
Let's go. I got one more big one for you. One more big one.
Let's hear
I gotta know the go-to meal, Craig. You get one meal. This is the meal. You like that's it. You don't get another meal for the next like month. You got to eat this
it.
same thing. What is it?
Dude, you're asking the right guy because I do eat a lot of the same stuff. I would say probably some red meat, some beef, some eggs, maybe some rice, and an avocado. And man,
You're happy with that.
I'm
You're
good.
satiated.
I'm
You're good to
good.
go. You're rock
Yeah.
and rolling.
Yeah, man. I think that like that hits every mark for me. I don't even, yeah. A lot of times I'll just have like beef and eggs or like no rice, but I mean, little rice won't hurt. It's good stuff, man.
I love it.
Yeah. How about you? What's your go-to? You a chicken and rice guy, or you like to be a little fancy with your meals?
I feel like I get really fancy. I've worked with a nutritionist for like the last 2 years now.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess this past year I did a 700-pound deadlift a week after a half marathon
Dude, I
at
saw that. That was epic.
like 7-8% body fat. It was
Sheesh.
dope, and I just that's all that was all him. But it's so much food variety. Gosh, so much food
Really?
variety, Craig. Yeah.
Nice.
Just if I was like having to put a meal together and it's the only thing I get, I'm
Right.
probably going like I'm a sweet guy. I'm going
Okay.
eggs, buckwheat, a little bit of coconut, some
Wow.
cocoa powder, banana,
Okay.
and
Right
we're
on.
going all in. We're going all in.
Yeah.
And then if I can have like if I could also have some extra eggs and some like
Yeah.
a nice little sirloin on the side with that,
Woo.
I
Now
don't
we're
need
talking.
anything else. I'm good
Right. Right.
for forever.
Love that, man. I like I think variety is great, but to me, like if I'm focused on work, I don't want to have to deal
Absolutely.
with all the, I guess the added energy of trying to figure out what to eat every day. So I like to just have a couple meals that I switch out and kind of go with and, keep it simple. And then on the weekends or when I'm out to eat or, with some friends, just kind of get some different stuff then, but keep it simple and I'm good to go.
I like that, and that's honestly like what most of my friends and everybody else is rolling with. You look
Yeah.
great, so I don't think there's any
Appreciate
need
it.
to change it. You feel great, your energy's high, so
Exactly.
definitely, man, definitely.
Awesome.
Craig, any last things before we hop off here? Anything you would bring back to yourself whenever you're in that transition of okay, I think I'm gonna go do this full time? What would you tell to somebody that was also in the same position right now?
I would say that you're just gonna figure it out along the way. Like to me, that was a moment where I had to just kind of like burn the boats. I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's figure out along the way. Whatever happens, happens, and you just need to be in a position where, or if you need to set yourself up. Like I gave myself a good financial runway and that sort of thing. But I would say like find the people that are doing what you want to do and surround yourself with them on like a daily basis if you can. It shouldn't be like every 1 week, every 2 weeks. It should be people that are in the position you want to be in, help them out at first, and then kind of just continue connecting with them on a daily basis, and you'll kind of pick up things and learn as you go. But yeah, I would say just go for it, keep moving forward, and you'll make it eventually. Also, it's to me, it's not about that end destination. It truly is about the journey and learning about yourself, building up character, building up these traits. Like it's not about hitting a monetary goal 1 month if I don't have the skills, the knowledge, the resources, the network, and the impact that created that outcome. To me, those numbers are kind of almost like a facade for something that has deeper meaning to it.
That's awesome. I appreciate it, Craig. Appreciate it, man.
Oh
Hope
yeah,
you have a great rest of your day. And I mean, just really appreciate you hopping on, taking out some time with us today.
absolutely. Appreciate you, Austin. Talk to you soon.